Who were the Krell, and what destroyed them? The story of the Krell of Forbidden Planet is one of intellectual hubris, the dangers of technology and science without understanding, and the age-old wisdom of knowing thyself. In this video, I will assume you have seen Forbidden Planet. If not, this video contains spoilers, but as the film is nearly 70 years old, you ought to know by now that Robbie the robot is secretly Kaiser Soze. By the time the film opens, the Krell are long extinct. Indeed, they are so long extinct that the surface of their planet, Altair 4, has long ago erased their great cities of glass and porcelain. What is left of their magnificent civilization lies below ground. From these remains, Dr. Morbius, last survivor of the Bellerothon expedition, has been able to reconstruct a vague sense of the Krell and the nature of their civilization. The Krell were millions of years ahead of the human race. They were highly evolved, and their intellects vastly superior to even the best of humanity. At the time of their destruction, their civilization was free from disease, insanity, crime, and any sort of injustice. Theirs was a near-perfect society. And then, 200,000 years before the film begins, they were destroyed, apparently in a single night. The Krell are never seen in Forbidden Planet. We only ever have vague clues, based on their engineering and architecture, and the mystery of what happened to them is wrapped up in the mystery of the destruction of the Bellerothon and the creature that attacks the C-57D. We will come to that shortly. Dr. Morbius points towards one of their surviving doorways as a clue to their shape and size. It is pentagonal, with the greater emphasis on the upper triangular portion. The steps in the Krell laboratory, on the other hand, are not much different from what we might expect in a human building. The educated device within is designed with a large cranium in mind, but the service shuttle Morbius, Adams and the Doctor take is rather limited in space, perhaps designed for only one Krell technician at a time. The technology of the Krell astonishes our heroes. Everything is clean and in excellent working order, as the Krell technology cleans and maintains itself. Wish my toaster could do that. Dr. Morbius shows Adams and the Doctor a vast underground machine, a good 40 miles across and reaching deep underground. There are apparently bottomless ventilation shafts, and the walkways are wide. The scale and power is beyond human scales. The underground machine is powered by over 90,000 thermonuclear reactors and is capable of instantaneous matter creation anywhere on Altair 4. It can take mere thought and turn it into a physical reality. This machine was built at the peak of Krell civilization, at a time when some era-defining breakthrough of the Krell was about to be made, just before they were destroyed. The end of the Krell came from a surprising direction, their own unconscious. The film is partly inspired by Freudian psychology, and the expression of the id, the dark, animalistic, irrational side of human nature, is the villain of the story. The Krell believed themselves beyond their baser, more primitive natures, but they grossly underestimated the depths and destructive power of their unconscious. As Commander Adams says in the film, the Krell forgot one deadly danger, their own subconscious hate and lust for destruction. If the id monster from Morbius's unconscious is so powerful and lethal, then the id monsters from the Krell, whose minds are immeasurably superior to that of Morbius, and who existed in far greater numbers, must have been truly horrific. This brings up an interesting question. If the Krell were near godlike, then where are their spaceships, their interstellar colonies? Why does it seem they were confined to a single planet? They were capable of interstellar travel, as they had visited Earth and carried away specimens, such as tigers. The Great Machine would have had to have affected the Krell space fleet as well as Altair 4. what of those ships further away? Their crews would surely have had time to see what was happening and react. Morbius's monster seems to have been confined to the surface of Altair 4, so it is reasonable to suppose Krell ships off-world would have been spared. In the film, the last remains of Krell civilization was finally destroyed by Morbius himself, who advises Commander Adams to set off a reaction in the machine that destroys Altair 4, leaving only memories and Robbie the robot as the legacy of the once great Krell civilization, and of course one of the best science fiction films of the 20th century.